position carries a lot of responsibility and can be overwhelming at times. What is your strategy to balance your constitutional duties with other aspects of your life to ensure the longevity of your position?
Thank you for that question. Politics is draining. It's energy inducing. You put yourself out there, you're passionate, it makes sense that burnout will occur. However, I think that within that passion, you need to figure out how to allocate your energy properly. And for me personally, I think setting boundaries is important. Setting boundaries within the board and what I can handle is really important in ensuring that I have the energy that I want to allocate to my passions, to these political ideas that I want to share with our GBMers. Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah. This position carries a lot of responsibility and can be overwhelming at times. What is your strategy to balance your constitutional duties with other aspects of your life to ensure the longevity of your position?
Okay, thank you. Our constitution, our organization, its basis is the Katipunan Clause. And I want to stress that that Katipunan Clause is something that applies to all e-board members, GBMers. I think it's important that I look to my fellow GBMers and community for that support. The fight for the Katipunan Clause, for what Andres Bonifacio has fought for us, what we uphold, is something we all are what's the word? We're all asked of as members of Andres Bonifacio. So I find it important that within my political position role, in order to not feel as overwhelmed, to look to my e-board members, to my fellow e-board members for support, and to also join me in that fight, so that I'm not the only one taking that on.
AB Samahan has many connections to political organizations and movements such as Anak Bayan and Kabataan Alliance. Do you have any ideas or plans to encourage our members to participate in these organizations in addition to Samahan events?
Thank you. As I mentioned in my speech, I talked about Kabalika communities, or committees. The purpose of those committees is to provide spaces for our GBMers or EBMers to mobilize together in a group that wants to do so. So within those committees, let's say my social awareness Kabalika committee, I would provide tasks such as putting themselves in those spaces, such as Anak Bayan, to engage in discussions, in critical discussions with our fellow members, to stay up to date on social media. I think social media is an important resource that we've been using in politics lately. Like, it's how we get our information. So to just advocate for activism within our community, because here at AB Samahan, our basis is political activism, and I want to ensure that that's highlighted in every single one of you here. Thank you.
Okay, for your audience question. Politics can be a fraught subject, with many people avoiding the topic entirely. How will you make Samahan a safe space for people to learn and discuss politics, especially considering current events and the upcoming year in politics?
Thank you. Politics is hard to consume. It's hard to consume because it's not accessible. I think through providing a more accessible way of gaining information, we are able to open our hearts and minds more to differing opinions. I think also going through this position with empathy is also very important. Understanding that we are all human, living different viewpoints of life. So of course we're bound to have different opinions, but to always provide welcoming spaces for critical discussion to occur. Those diverse voices are needed in order to form our own opinions, our own political identities. in order to grow, we must know where we need to grow in. Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah.
I want to add.
Do you want the entire thing or just
Yes,
the
please.
question? Entire. Politics can be a fraught subject, with many people avoiding the topic entirely. How will you make Samahan a safe space for people to learn and discuss politics, especially considering current events in the upcoming year of politics?
I want to add that there's this aspect of creating that welcoming space, but there's also the aspect of creating that energized space as well. And we need to, as political affairs coordinator, I hope to provide or to facilitate and foster an energizing and passionate space for politics to occur, for those critical discussions to occur.